Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. Although we're therapists, this podcast is not therapy and does not replace working with your own therapist. Everything shared here is for general education and conversation only.
Welcome back to Two Anxious Girls. I am Davi,
And I'm Christina.
and we are two therapists who spend 40 hours a week helping others navigate their lives in the 128 other hours, wondering if we are doing ours completely wrong.
Do you know that I replay that in my head before bed?
Oh, that's awful. Should we change it?
Uh,
Okay. How are you doing today, Christina?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting over another cold.
Oh, no.
I think my body is probably telling me to slow down, but I'm feeling better today. I spent the weekend resting, so I'm feeling good. How are you feeling?
I'm doing well. I'm glad that you rested, that you're listening to your body. And yes, this is unfortunately the season, even though we love transitional weather, we love spring. It's also cold season, allergy season, and your body reacts to that.
Yeah.
So today's episode, it's quite a reflective one, another reflective one. We're talking about something that I think every anxious person has thought at least once or twice. So yeah,
Yeah. Thought about it in the shower. That's usually where all my realizations happen. What about you?
and none of them are gentle. When I'm in the shower, I think about so many things.
Yeah.
But yes, today we're talking about what we would say to our younger anxious selves.
Uh,
I love today's topic because there's so many things that I would tell myself.
yeah. If you could sit down to baby 12-year-old Dobby or 16-year-old Dobby, or honestly, even 25-year-old Dobby, and just give them a little guidance or reassurance, or maybe just a hug.
Yes, probably a lot of reassurance because our anxious brains are doing a lot with very little tiny information. I mean, just think about all the things we used to think about when we were 12 or 15 that we thought that was important.
Uh, yeah.
So, yeah, that takes us to our first segment, the spiraling. And this is where we talk about anxious thoughts that loop around and around and around, and that they feel so real in the moment. And also, they're so wildly dramatic.
Seriously, I wish that
Yeah.
I wish for this episode I could have the friends that I grew up with to talk about this topic because I feel
Mhm.
like we often talk about our 15-year-old selves and what was going on, the boys that we liked, but that was so true in our lives, like, that was what was going on.
Yeah, that was reality.
Yeah, so this might make me a little emotional because younger Christina thought that anxiety meant there was something wrong with me, and I wish someone would tell me that I was okay, I was just growing up and I was learning.
Oh my God, yes. I genuinely believed that everyone had things figured out because they looked so put together, they looked fine. And I just got lost in, okay, so where's my manual to figure out life? Because I don't have it.
Yeah, like everyone else got, like, the instructions of life and you just didn't.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? Because I know that younger kiddos nowadays, they're all about vibes. And maybe, okay, I do hear that this newer generation, younger generation is more anxious than ever. And I do
Mhm.
feel bad for them because I do feel that they're also many times just going off by vibes. I don't want to offend anyone, but yeah, that's
I mean, it makes sense though, Debbie, because yes, we had some social media, like, we had what was that? A Messenger, but
yeah, I didn't even get to that. But I remember that when I was 16, 15, 16. So now everyone can figure out my age. MySpace came out,
mm,
Facebook came out.
mhm.
So that's when things started, but I didn't jump into it immediately. And I've
Yeah,
never been a big social media person, so I do feel that that saved me a little bit
yeah.
when it came to comparisons and
Yeah,
all
because
these
I was
other
gonna
things.
say, as you call them, the kiddos, it makes me feel really old to say kiddos, but the kiddos have TikTok, they have
Oh, yeah.
Instagram, like, all this stuff, so I would be so I mean, I'm anxious as it is as an adult. If I was, like, 15 with TikTok, I would be so anxious, but anyway, if I could talk to the younger me, the first thing I would probably say is that you are not damaged, you are okay, and
That
you
one
will be
hits.
okay, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that one hits hard, it really does. I didn't mean to interrupt you, so I am sorry. But
No.
yeah, the one thing that I would tell my younger self is that, ah, everything is going to work out
Mhm.
because anxiety can really convince us that being sensitive or thoughtful is a flaw. And I was always told that growing up, oh, you're so sensitive and da da da. But No, it's it's okay to be sensitive, and it's not a flaw, and there's nothing wrong with you. So that's definitely one thing that I would tell my younger self.
Yeah. Yeah, anxious brains. Well, not we, our brains treat every situation like it's a huge catastrophe. There's an alarm going off with absolutely no evidence, but that's why it's anxiety.
Yeah, and I just feel like a lot. Sorry. I think I lost my train of thought.
You had a brain fart.
All the time. My apologies. But what did I want to say about that? Yes. And what it's hilarious about you mentioning catastrophe,
Mm,
I'm always pointing that out with clients, like when they are sharing their thoughts with me, and I'm like, okay, and how would we label that? That
mhm,
is catastrophic thinking. We're
mhm,
going immediately into worst case scenario. And when we're younger, that's how everything feels like a catastrophe.
mhm,
We
mhm.
feel things so intensely, and we could be a bit dramatic as well.
Yeah. I don't know if you've had this experience, Dobby. I imagine you did. An awkward encounter with a boy that you liked, and suddenly I could remember thinking, like, "I will never recover from this." My 15-year-old self, "I will never recover from this moment."
Yeah.
And that was my true that was true in my mind.
That was your collapse?
Mhm.
Were you planning to transfer schools?
Probably, Debbie. That thought probably crossed my mind.
Oh, hilarious. And the younger you is convinced that every moment is going to define your entire future. I really did believe that. Like, you don't understand.
Absolutely, Debbie, absolutely.
Like, just having one awkward interaction with
Mhm.
someone, and suddenly you're like, "Okay, I guess I'm never going to recover from this."
Yeah,
Socially, emotionally, my friend groups are over.
yeah. Wow, I feel very nostalgic thinking about high school right now. But let's move into our therapy insights. And this is where we bring in things that we've learned through therapy, our own practices, and also just living and no longer being 15.
Absolutely, and very happy on the living.
Yeah, real life experience.
Real life experiences.
Yeah, one thing I know that I wish I understood sooner is that anxiety often grows from shame
That's such a great
in
analogy.
the yeah, in the soil of shame, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mhm,
It's such a good analogy because you grew up feeling that you are too much,
mhm.
which a lot of us were told, oh, we're too much, or feelings were too much, or we're being a little bit too dramatic. And you really start believing that something is wrong with you when no,
Yeah, and when that shame shows up, the compassion probably usually disappears immediately. And yeah, one of the biggest lessons therapy can teach people is how to talk to themselves differently.
absolutely. And you once you learn, because again, everything and well, not everything, but many things are a skill, and skills are to be practiced and are to be developed.
Mhm.
So even when the shame comes up, when guilt comes up because we are embarrassed by something that we did or think or of how we were perceived, it is important to really tell ourselves that, hey, we're humans, we make mistakes,
Mm.
or it's simply not that big of a deal. It's okay to sit one out and to just really be gentle with yourselves.
Yeah. So instead of saying something like, "Why am I like this?" which I'm sure we've all said
Mhm.
multiple times, we can learn and practice to say, "Of course, this is hard." And that shift can be really powerful
Mhm.
because that's where the change can start.
Absolutely. And that is where normalizing and validating sometimes becomes something that you actually practice
Mhm.
and not just something that you hear in therapy. It
Yeah.
turns into a skill. And it is a skill that honestly, most of us were never taught of growing up. So in therapy, yeah, you hear it a lot, normalizing and validating. Let's put it into practice. Like, just don't practice it while you are in your therapy session,
Mhm.
that hour, once or twice a month.
Right. Another insight that I wish younger Christina knew is that anxiety is often just my brain trying to protect me.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, that is true. Anxiety many times is trying to protect us. It's not always a bad thing. And as we have shared here before, once it is interfering with our functionality, that's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
So when it is trying to protect you, it technically has a security system that it's just a little bit sensitive, maybe a bit too sensitive, and that's okay. It's just detecting danger everywhere. Even when the danger is something like sending an email that makes
Mhm.
no sense, you find yourself ruminating and you're in a loop just thinking about it, and it still sounds wrong. That's where we just want to take a step back and know
Mhm,
an email is just an email. It's okay if I just send it,
mhm.
and hopefully we then let it go. That's the goal.
Sometimes, Tabby, I'll reread, say, let's say an email like 12 times, and then sometimes I reread it so many times that I question if the spelling is correct. Has that ever happened to you?
That happens to me all the time, obviously, because English is my second language. That's number one.
Well, you have a good reason. English is my first.
But that's where I tell myself, okay, Dobby, this is it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So it is important to talk back to your anxiety, to talk back to yourself, to talk back
Mhm,
to your thoughts,
mhm.
because they're not always correct. And again, talking back to our younger selves, it's just hilarious to think about it because at the end of the day, obviously clients don't pay me for this, but it's all going to work out. Like we just need to really trust the universe, trust
God,
God, what you believe in, and
yeah,
just know that it's going to work out. So when you're young and anxious about so many things, just know that it's all going to work out. Like,
yeah.
how do you feel about your life right now?
Oh, I love my life, Zabby. If I could tell my 15-year-old self, the boy you're crying over is not gonna be your husband, so you will be okay,
Absolutely.
and you're gonna figure it out and have a beautiful life, like, I would love to you know what? Homework this week should be writing a letter to your younger self
I love that. That's a great idea. Yeah.
and just see where that might take you. I probably will do that myself.
Yeah. It's a great reflective activity to do to practice self compassion.
Mhm,
And it's also a great activity to do because you are able to see how far you have come. And all those things that you worried about
mhm,
mean nothing today. I would also say that I'm very thankful for my life. It's not perfect. I don't have everything I wish or hope for, but I know that one day I will. And right now, life is good.
man,
Such a beautiful life.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
can't wait for it to be fuller and fuller, but I am thankful and practicing a lot of gratitude.
as we all should. It's hard in this day and age to practice gratitude.
Yeah. So, are we talking about our guilty pleasures and anxiety wins? Because this is a topic that we could really just go on and on and on.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. You start so I can think of mine.
Okay, so my anxiety win again, has been practicing some compassion towards myself and meditating before anxiety inducing moments, which as of late, they have been plenty.
Mhm.
I know I'm saying this every week, but I'm meditating more often and I'm trying to be less anxious, less reactive.
Yeah.
And yeah, proud of myself for that.
Yeah, that's a big one. Also, Debbie, I know that a lot of people in therapy, when they hear the word meditating, they think like woosah, like those kind of moments. But meditating could
Hmm.
mean a lot of different things for a lot of people.
Hmm.
Could be breathing like you do.
Hmm.
It could be prayer.
Hmm.
It could be sitting in silence. So meditation can be a lot of different things. But anyway, my anxiety win is honestly similar to yours.
Hmm.
I've just been noticing when my brain starts to play tricks on me and when those intrusive thoughts might start kicking in, and I just kind of, you know, try to remind myself that I am human, I'm having a moment, it's going to pass, and I'll be okay.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you're practicing that. And circling back with meditation, yes, I do pray and I do admit for me, prayer, it is a form of meditation. Deep breathing, it's a form of meditation. And I
Yeah.
also do guided meditation.
Mhm.
Headspace is my best friend. And this
Love.
is not an ad
But maybe it can be.
in the near future. But yeah, it's very important. And for anyone who think that it could be helpful, just give it a try.
Mhm.
And guilty pleasures, guilty pleasures. What are your thoughts?
Hmm. What are my thoughts of guilty pleasures this week? Huh. What did I do this week? I think I made a new recipe. I'm trying to think what. Oh, I made a copycat Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme. If anybody has been with us, I should be eating healthy, and I am. I
Okay.
am.
Yeah.
But I allow myself 1 day a week to have, like, a fun dinner.
Yeah, as you should, and send me that recipe
I will.
you had not shared.
I know, I will. It's amazing. So that was definitely my guilty pleasure. Something fun, different, not just like a taco. It was something more elevated. So that
Yeah,
was
it sounds delicious, and I am proud of you. I also tried a new recipe,
ooh, what did you try?
a new loaf of bread
Oh, yes, I
with
tried it.
it's delicious.
So
Wasn't it
good,
delicious?
so good.
I feel that in my journey, this has been my best loaf yet.
Mhm,
I feel that I have mastered my dough.
mhm. I wish people could see you, Dobby. She's pretending to knead dough.
Oh, hilarious.
But yeah, that was good.
Yes, but with that, should we start wrapping it up for today?
Yes. So to recap, if you could sit with your younger anxious self for a few minutes, ask yourself, what would you tell them? What would you reassure them? And would you tell them that you're stronger than they think?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And also, just remind them that they are not alone.
Mhm.
They're not going to ruin their lives over that little one thing because they definitely thought that they would. So, yeah, everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to work out. Easier said than done when we're already here, but
Yeah. So if today's episode resonated with you, we're really glad that you're here. We hope you'll stick around for our future episodes. Share it with a friend, rate us, listen, and follow. Bye.
bye. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.